Black belt mocked black janitor. Beat me and the dojo is yours. Until she landed the first hit. Beat me and this whole dojo is yours, cleaning lady! Marcus Sterling's voice booms with arrogance as he towers over Maya Johnson, a black woman scrubbing floors in her worn uniform. The wealthy white businessman deliberately kicks her bucket, sending soapy water cascading across the academy's polished wood. Look at you, crawling around like the servant you are, Marcus sneers, his designer shoes grinding into the wet mess. What's wrong? Too scared to face your betters? Or maybe you know garbage like you don't belong anywhere near real martial artists. Maya slowly rises, her calloused hands steady despite the humiliation. Her dark eyes lock onto him with dangerous calm. One fight, she says quietly. Marcus grins like a predator. One fight to put you back in your place. But what Marcus doesn't know is that 20 years ago, those same steady hands held championship belts in 3 martial arts. What he doesn't know is that this moment has been 5 years in the making. The academy sits in the heart of a rapidly gentrifying neighborhood where traditional values clash with new money. Master Carter's Martial Arts Academy has served this community for 30 years, its weathered sign hanging above doors that have welcomed students from every walk of life. But tonight, only one student's opinion seems to matter. Master Carter watches from behind the reception desk, his 70-year-old hands gripping a stack of unpaid bills. The dojo that once thrived on respect and tradition now depends on the monthly payments of wealthy students like Marcus Sterling. Each insult Marcus hurls at Maya feels like another nail in the coffin of everything Carter has built. Marcus Sterling embodies everything wrong with modern martial arts. At 45, he bought his way through the ranks with private lessons and generous donations. His black belt hangs around his waist like a purchased trophy, not an earned honor. To him, the dojo isn't a sacred space for learning. It's prime real estate worth millions once the undesirable elements are removed. You know what your problem is, Carter? Marcus had said just last week, his voice dripping with false concern. You're too soft on the help. This place could be so much more profitable with the right management. Maya Johnson moves through the academy like a ghost, invisible to most students despite working here for 3 years. What they see is a middle-aged black woman in a janitor's uniform, someone to step around while discussing their important lives. What they don't see is the way she unconsciously shifts into perfect fighting stances while mopping, or how her breathing follows ancient rhythms learned decades ago. Her small apartment tells a different story. Hidden beneath loose floorboards lie faded newspaper clippings. Local teen wins regional championship. Johnson advances to nationals. Rising star in martial arts. But those headlines died 20 years ago in a hospital room where Maya chose between her own dreams and her family's survival. The deeper secret lies in a manila folder tucked behind family photos. 5 years of meticulous research, Marcus Sterling's business acquisitions, his pattern of destroying small businesses, and most importantly, his role in the bankruptcy of Golden Dragon Dojo. The same dojo where Maya learned everything she knows about honor, respect, and protecting the innocent. Master Takeshi's final letter rests in that folder, its edges worn from countless readings. Maya-chan, I failed to stop men like him. Promise me you will succeed where I could not. The strong must protect the weak, even when the cost is everything. Maya took that job at Carter's Academy for one reason: Marcus Sterling. She studied his schedule, his habits, his weaknesses. Every racist comment, every act of casual cruelty, every moment of his entitled arrogance has been carefully documented. Tonight's humiliation isn't random. It's the culmination of a plan 3 years in the making. The other students shift uncomfortably as Marcus continues his verbal assault. They know this is wrong, but Marcus Sterling pays more in monthly fees than most of them make in a year. Master Carter needs that money to keep the lights on, to maintain the insurance, to preserve the legacy his own teacher entrusted to him. In the corner stands a shrine to martial arts masters of the past. Faded photographs of elderly Asian men in traditional GIs watch over the modern chaos with sad, knowing eyes. One photo sits apart from the others: Master Takeshi, whose gentle smile hides the tragedy that Marcus Sterling will never remember causing. Maya's daughter, Jasmine, doesn't know about the folder or the 5-year plan. She only knows her mother works 3 jobs to pay for her college dreams, that every scholarship rejection feels like another door closing on their family's future. What Jasmine can't understand is why her mother, who taught her to stand up for herself, quietly endures Marcus Sterling's daily humiliations. But tonight, something shifts in Maya's posture. The careful mask of subservience slips for just a moment, revealing something that makes Master Carter's eyes widen with recognition. 20 years may have passed, but perfect technique never truly dies. The stage is set, the players are in position, and Marcus Sterling, in his infinite arrogance, is about to challenge the one person who has been waiting her entire adult life to accept. Maya deliberately drops her cleaning rag near the training mats, knowing Marcus always demonstrates his superior techniques when he has an audience. She's studied his patterns for 3 years. He can't resist showing off during evening sessions when other students watch. "Excuse me," Maya says softly, reaching for the rag as Marcus practices his kata nearby. "Watch where you're going." Marcus explodes exactly as Maya predicted. "You're disrupting serious training with your clumsiness." Master Carter steps forward. "Marcus, please, she's just doing her job." "Her job?" Marcus's voice rises, drawing every student's attention. "Her job is to stay invisible until we're done, but since she wants to be part of the action so badly..." Maya's heart pounds, but not from fear. This is the moment she's orchestrated for months. Every night she's watched Marcus's ego inflate when investors visit. Tonight, 3 potential business partners sit in the viewing area, checkbooks ready. "You know what?" Marcus announces to his audience. "I'm feeling generous. This cleaning lady seems fascinated by martial arts. Maybe she thinks she can do what we do." The students exchange uncomfortable glances. Master Carter's face tightens with worry. Marcus circles Maya like a predator. "I'll make you a deal, sweetheart. 1 friendly sparring match. If you can somehow manage to land even 1 clean hit on a real black belt, just 1 pathetic little hit, I'll deed this entire dojo to you." The room falls silent. Maya's hands tremble, but not from nervousness, from 20 years of suppressed muscle memory fighting to surface. "When you lose," Marcus continues, his voice dripping with cruel certainty, "everyone here will finally understand why people like you stick to mopping floors instead of stepping on training mats." He turns to the investors with a confident grin. "Gentlemen, consider this tonight's entertainment. After I'm done schooling her, we can discuss the real business of transforming this place into something profitable." Maya slowly straightens, her weathered hands releasing the mop handle. Master Takeshi's letter burns in her memory. "The strong must protect the weak." "1 hit?" she asks quietly. Marcus nods, his smirk widening. "1 impossible hit." Maya looks toward the corner where Master Takeshi's photo watches from the shrine. 3 years of planning, 5 years of patience, 20 years of waiting. Give me 5 minutes to change. Marcus paces the training mat like a conquering general, his expensive GI pristine and perfectly pressed. He stretches with exaggerated movements, ensuring every student captures his superior flexibility on their phones. The hashtags are already flowing. #Dojo Challenge, #Masters Janitor, #Easy Money. "This is almost too easy," Marcus announces to his investor friends. 20 seconds, maybe 30 if I'm feeling charitable." Maya emerges from the changing room in borrowed training clothes that hang loose on her frame. She looks nervous, uncertain, exactly what Marcus expects from the help. Her stance appears awkward as she approaches the center mat, but Master Carter's trained eye catches something others miss, the subtle weight distribution of someone who once knew perfect balance. "Look at her," Marcus laughs, addressing his audience. "Shaking like a leaf. This is what happens when people forget their place in the world." He begins his warm-up routine, executing high kicks and complex combinations that earn appreciative murmurs from watching students. Each technique is performed for maximum visual impact, designed to intimidate rather than demonstrate true skill. "You see this?" Marcus calls out, breaking 3 boards with a dramatic strike. "This is what 20 years of serious training looks like, not 20 years of pushing a mop around." Maya watches his every movement, cataloging his techniques with the analytical mind of a former champion. His kicks are powerful but telegraphed. His combinations are flashy but predictable. Most importantly, his ego makes him broadcast every attack before executing it. Let me guess, Marcus continues his psychological assault. You probably watched some YouTube videos and think you know karate now. Maybe I saw a few Jackie Chan movies and figured it looked easy. The students laugh nervously, some film with obvious discomfort, knowing they're documenting something cruel. Others live stream with excitement, hoping for viral content. Marcus's business partner leans forward. Sterling, maybe this is going too far. She's clearly outmatched. Outmatched? Marcus's eyes gleam with predatory satisfaction. She's not even in the same species as me. This isn't about martial arts. This is about natural order. Some people are born to lead, others to serve. Maya's breathing remains steady, controlled. Inside, she recites Master Takeshi's teachings. Observe your opponent's spirit before engaging his body. The arrogant fighter defeats himself. You know what your real problem is? Marcus addresses Maya directly now, his voice carrying the casual cruelty of someone accustomed to power. You actually believe you belong here. You see these mats, this sacred space, and you think somehow you deserve to stand where warriors train. Master Carter steps forward. Marcus, perhaps we should— Stay back, old man, Marcus snaps. This is a learning moment, for everyone. He begins demonstrating advanced techniques inches from Maya's face, his movements deliberately aggressive and intimidating. 20 years I've studied the warrior's path, 20 years of discipline, sacrifice, dedication. And you think you can just stumble in here with your mop and somehow compete? Maya's eyes track his movements with unsettling precision. She's not flinching or backing away. If anything, she seems to be studying him with the focus of a scientist examining a specimen. I built myself into a weapon, Marcus continues, his voice rising with religious fervor. My body is a temple of destruction. My mind is honed for combat. My spirit burns with the fire of champions. The watching students begin to feel uncomfortable. This isn't a martial arts demonstration. It's public humiliation designed to break someone's dignity. But you? Marcus circles closer. You're soft, weak, undisciplined. You've spent your life serving others instead of conquering yourself. How could someone like you ever understand what it means to be a warrior? Maya finally speaks, her voice barely above a whisper. Show me. Marcus pauses, surprised by her calm response. What did you say? Show me what a warrior looks like. The challenge in her tone catches him off guard for a moment, but his ego quickly reasserts control. Oh, I'll show you. I'll show everyone here what happens when delusion meets reality. He launches into an elaborate kata, his movements sharp and aggressive. But Maya notices the gaps, moments where his balance shifts, where his guard drops, where his showmanship overrides his technique. This is the way of the sword, Marcus declares, finishing with a dramatic pose. Power, precision, perfection. Everything you'll never possess. Maya nods slowly. Master Takeshi used to say that the loudest fighter is usually the weakest. The words hit Marcus like a physical blow. What did you just say? Nothing, Maya replies innocently. Just remembering something I heard once. But the damage is done. Marcus's face reddens with rage. Someone in his position doesn't get talked back to by the help. Someone of his status doesn't get subtle insults from people who should be grateful for his attention. You know what? Marcus's voice turns ice cold. I was going to go easy on you. Make this quick and painless, but now I think everyone here needs to see what real consequences look like. Master Carter tries one final intervention. Marcus, this has gone far enough. Perhaps we should— Enough! Marcus roars. This disrespectful cleaning lady needs to learn her lesson the hard way. And every student here needs to understand what happens to people who don't know their place. He assumes an aggressive fighting stance, his previous showmanship replaced by genuine malice. I'm going to enjoy this. Maya settles into her own stance, and suddenly the borrowed clothes don't look so ill-fitting. Her awkward posture transforms into something that makes Master Carter's breath catch in his throat. Ready when you are, Maya says quietly. Marcus charges forward with a combination designed to overwhelm and humiliate, but as his first strike approaches Maya's position, something extraordinary happens. She simply isn't there anymore. Maya flows around Marcus's attack like water around stone, her movement so fluid it seems almost supernatural. His powerful combination meets nothing but air as she redirects his momentum with a simple hip throw, the same technique Master Takeshi taught her 20 years ago. Marcus hits the mat with a thunderous crash that echoes through the silent dojo. For 5 heartbeats, nobody moves. Nobody breathes. The only sound is Marcus's labored gasping as he stares up at the ceiling, his mind struggling to process what just happened. Maya stands perfectly balanced, her stance now unmistakably that of a master. Master Carter's eyes widen in recognition. He knows that technique, that style. Golden Dragon Dojo, the school that closed years ago. That was practice, Maya says quietly, helping Marcus to his feet with traditional martial arts courtesy. The real match starts when you're ready. She retreats to the corner, assuming the meditation posture of a true warrior. This isn't the behavior of an amateur getting lucky. This is the patience of someone who has spent decades perfecting her craft. Marcus staggers upright, his expensive GI wrinkled and his pride shattered. For the first time in years, he faces something his money can't buy and his arrogance can't intimidate. Lucky shot, he snarls, but his voice wavers. Maya's eyes remain closed in meditation. Whenever you're ready, Marcus. The real fight is about to begin. Marcus abandons all pretense of control and civilization. His face contorts with rage as he realizes this isn't going according to script. The investors lean forward, no longer watching entertainment but witnessing something that could reshape their understanding of power itself. "You got lucky once," Marcus growls, his voice stripped of its earlier confidence. But luck runs out. He charges again, this time with genuine technique instead of showmanship. His combination is sharp, practiced, dangerous, the product of expensive private lessons and natural athleticism. But Maya receives each attack like a master calligrapher receiving inspiration, transforming his aggression into art. The first phase unfolds like a chess match played at lightning speed. Maya demonstrates pure Aikido, redirecting Marcus's force back against himself. Every punch he throws becomes leverage for her defense. Every kick he launches gives her momentum for her counters. She doesn't fight him. She dances with his violence until it defeats itself. "What the hell?" Marcus stumbles as his own power sends him off balance. "Stop running and fight!" "I am fighting," Maya responds calmly. "You're just not recognizing the style." The watching students begin to understand they're witnessing something extraordinary. Phones capture every moment as #Janitor Sensei starts trending in real time. Comments flood the live streams. "This can't be real. Is she actually winning? Where did she learn to move like that?" Phase 2 begins when Marcus adapts to Maya's defensive strategy. He's genuinely skilled, just arrogant. Now desperation sharpens his technique as he presses his physical advantages, size, strength, and recent training. His attacks become more calculated, more dangerous. Maya shifts styles seamlessly, introducing judo throws that use Marcus's momentum against him. Each technique flows into the next like water finding its natural course. When he tries to grapple, she redirects. When he strikes, she counters. When he advances, she controls distance with footwork that makes Master Carter's heart race with recognition. "This is impossible!" Marcus pants, sweat beginning to stain his perfect GI. "You're just a cleaning lady!" "I was never just anything," Maya replies, her breathing still controlled and even. The sound design of their combat tells its own story. Marcus's techniques create sharp impacts and forceful movements, all power and fury. Maya's responses whisper through the air like wind through bamboo, efficient, precise, devastating in their simplicity. Phase 3 begins when Marcus realizes he's not fighting a lucky amateur. He's fighting someone whose muscle memory spans decades of dedicated training. His business partner speaks into his phone, "Cancel the acquisition meeting. We need to reassess this situation entirely." Maya's true skill emerges gradually, like dawn breaking over mountains. She demonstrates techniques from multiple martial arts traditions, each one executed with championship-level precision. Her karate strikes land with surgical accuracy, disabling without destroying. Her defensive work showcases mastery that can only come from years of dedicated practice under authentic instruction. "Who are you?" Marcus demands between ragged breaths. Maya executes a sequence that leaves no doubt about her true nature. She blocks his combination with perfect timing, flows into a joint lock that demonstrates complete control, then releases him before any damage occurs. Finally, she applies Master Takeshi's signature technique, a control hold that immobilizes without harm. The technique is unmistakably expert level. Marcus finds himself completely helpless, unable to move but uninjured. Maya could end the fight in a dozen different ways, but she chooses restraint, the hallmark of a true martial artist. "This is what 20 years of authentic training looks like," Maya announces clearly for all the cameras. "This is what respect for martial arts actually means." Master Carter rises from his seat and bows deeply, a gesture that confirms Maya's mastery to everyone present. In traditional martial arts, such recognition carries the weight of law. The old master has just acknowledged a peer. The room erupts, students cheer, investors stare in fascination, and social media explodes with reactions. The videos are already going viral with hashtags that capture the moment's significance. #Janitor Sensei, #Hidden Master, #Real Martial Arts, #Underestimate this. Comments pour in from around the world. This is what authentic martial arts looks like. She just schooled him with pure technique. Money can't buy what she has. This is the most beautiful fight I've ever seen. Marcus lies motionless in Maya's control, his worldview crumbling. Every assumption he's made about power, worth, and natural order dissolves under the weight of Maya's undeniable skill. "I trained under Master Takeshi at Golden Dragon Dojo," Maya announces, her voice carrying across the silent room. "I learned that true martial arts isn't about domination. It's about protection. It's not about proving superiority. It's about serving others." She releases Marcus gently and helps him to his feet with traditional courtesy. "I clean this dojo because I respect what it represents. I honor the space where people come to learn discipline, humility, and the true warrior's path." Marcus staggers upright, his expensive GI wrinkled and his arrogance shattered. "This isn't over," he snarls, but his threat sounds hollow after his complete defeat. "Nobody makes me look like a fool and gets away with it." The threat is captured on multiple cameras, broadcast live to thousands of viewers. His words become evidence of his character, preserved forever in the digital record. Maya bows traditionally to Master Carter, to the shrine of past masters, and finally to Marcus himself. "Thank you for the opportunity to demonstrate my teacher's wisdom." Master Carter approaches with tears in his eyes. "Your technique, I know that style. Golden Dragon Dojo. Master Takeshi was my teacher's contemporary. Where did you train?" "Under Master Takeshi himself," Maya responds. "Before your dojo existed, before any of this began." The revelation hits Master Carter like lightning. Golden Dragon Dojo closed years ago under mysterious circumstances. If Maya trained there, her credentials extend back to the golden age of traditional martial arts in their city. Marcus storms toward the exit with his investors, his business partners exchanging concerned glances. His acquisition plans lie in ruins, his reputation destroyed by his own arrogance. "This isn't over," he shouts from the doorway. "I'll see you in court for assault. You'll pay for making me look like an idiot." But Maya just smiles, her phone already buzzing with notifications. 5 years of preparation have led to this moment. 3 years of documentation have captured everything needed for what comes next. Phase 2 of her plan is about to begin. The lawsuit arrives within 48 hours, delivered by a team of expensive lawyers in tailored suits. Marcus Sterling versus Maya Johnson. Assault, battery, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and damages exceeding $200,000. "She attacked me without provocation," Marcus declares on Channel 7's morning show, his face a mask of righteous indignation. "I was trying to be charitable, give this woman a chance to participate respectfully in our martial arts community. Instead, she used hidden training to humiliate and injure me." The media narrative shifts with devastating efficiency. Headlines transform overnight. Aggressive janitor attacks customer, dojo enables untrained fighter to hurt student. When workplace violence goes viral. Marcus's business connections ensure the story spreads through every major outlet. Maya watches the coverage from her small apartment, surrounded by the evidence she's spent 5 years collecting. Her phone buzzes constantly with hostile messages. Anonymous accounts flood her social media with racist attacks and death threats. #Janitor Sensei becomes #fake news as public opinion turns against her. "Mom, they're saying terrible things at school," her daughter Jasmine confides, tears streaming down her face. "They're calling you violent, saying you attacked some innocent man. I defended you, but now..." Now I don't know what to believe." The words cut deeper than any legal threat. Maya's heart breaks as she realizes her quest for justice might cost her the most important relationship in her life. Master Carter faces his own crisis. Insurance investigators arrive at his dojo questioning liability policies and safety protocols. Students cancel memberships, afraid of legal complications. The monthly payments that keep his academy alive evaporate as parents fear association with that violent place where the janitor attacked someone. "I'm sorry, Maya," Master Carter says sadly, his weathered hands shaking as he hands her a suspension notice. "Until this legal matter resolves, I can't risk having you on the premises. The insurance company insists." Marcus's legal strategy proves sophisticated and ruthless. His team presents edited security footage showing the challenge and fight without crucial audio context. Without sound, the encounter appears to show Marcus offering a friendly demonstration before Maya responds with excessive force. Legal experts on television agree that Maya faces serious criminal exposure. "She clearly has advanced training that wasn't disclosed," notes a former prosecutor. When someone with her skill level engages in physical confrontation, the law treats it differently. She had a duty to retreat. The evidence manipulation extends beyond simple editing. Marcus's lawyers produce character witnesses praising his community involvement and charitable nature. Business partners testify about his generous donations to local causes. Even some dojo students, afraid of losing their training facility, reluctantly support his version of events. Maya's public defender, overworked and underprepared, suggests plea bargaining. "The video looks bad," he admits during their brief meeting. "Your best option might be accepting guilt for simple assault and hoping for probation." But Maya isn't panicking. While Marcus orchestrates his media campaign, she's been implementing Phase 2 of her 5-year plan. The manila folder hidden in her apartment contains more than just newspaper clippings. It holds comprehensive documentation of Marcus's pattern of harassment and predatory business practices. "Mr. Sterling," says investigative journalist Rebecca Carter during a follow-up interview, "our research shows this isn't your first controversial business acquisition. Can you comment on the circumstances surrounding Golden Dragon Dojo's closure 20 years ago?" Marcus's confident expression flickers momentarily. "I don't recall the specific details of every property transaction from decades ago. According to public records, you purchased the building housing Golden Dragon Dojo through a shell company, then immediately tripled the rent, forcing the business into bankruptcy. The owner, Master Takeshi, died by suicide shortly after losing his life's work. Do you remember him?" "I'm here to discuss the assault case, not ancient business dealings." Marcus deflects, but sweat appears on his forehead despite the studio's cool temperature. Maya's attorney, not the overworked public defender, but someone far more experienced, watches the interview with satisfaction. David Carter, Rebecca's brother and a civil rights lawyer, has been working pro bono since Maya contacted him through encrypted channels 3 days ago. "Phase 2 begins now," Maya tells David, handing him 5 years of meticulously documented evidence. "Marcus Sterling destroyed my teacher's life. Now it's time for Master Takeshi to have his justice." The Counterstrike launches across multiple fronts simultaneously. David files a wrongful death lawsuit against Marcus on behalf of Master Takeshi's estate, citing documented harassment and predatory business practices. The local district attorney receives evidence of potential criminal fraud in Marcus's real estate dealings. The State Martial Arts Commission gets reports of illegitimate rank advancement through financial payment rather than skill demonstration. Other victims emerge from the shadows, emboldened by Maya's courage. Small business owners who lost everything to Marcus's tactics come forward with their own stories. A pattern of harassment, intimidation, and systematic destruction becomes undeniable. "This isn't about one fight in a dojo," David explains to gathering reporters. "This is about 20 years of predatory behavior that culminated in my client's teacher taking his own life. Maya Johnson didn't attack Marcus Sterling. She finally stood up to him." Social media sentiment begins shifting as the true story emerges. #Justice for Maya Takeshi trends worldwide as people share stories of their own encounters with workplace bullies and predatory business practices. The viral videos are recontextualized as an underdog's triumph over systematic oppression. Marcus's legal team scrambles to contain the damage, but their client becomes his own worst enemy. Frustrated by the negative coverage, Marcus grants an impromptu interview outside his office building. These people are trying to destroy a successful businessman because they can't accept their place in society, he declares, his mask of civility finally slipping completely. Some of us build wealth through intelligence and hard work. Others look for handouts and play victim when they don't get them. The racist undertones in his language become impossible to ignore. Corporate sponsors distance themselves from his ventures. The investors who witnessed the dojo confrontation quietly withdrew their support. His carefully constructed public image crumbles under the weight of his own words. Maya watches the coverage from David's law office, Master Takeshi's photograph beside her on the conference table. 20 years of patience, 5 years of planning, and 3 years of documentation have led to this moment. "Are you ready for the hearing tomorrow?" David asks. Maya nods, her fingers tracing the edges of her teacher's final letter. "Master Takeshi taught me that true victory isn't defeating your opponent. It's making the truth impossible to ignore. The formal hearing will determine more than just Maya's legal fate. It will decide whether justice can triumph over privilege, whether truth can overcome power, and whether a student's loyalty can finally honor her deceased teacher's memory. Tomorrow, Marcus Sterling will face the consequences of underestimating someone he never bothered to see as human." The courthouse buzzes with tension as national media crews position their cameras outside. Maya enters carrying a worn leather portfolio, Master Takeshi's final gift to her, and a thick manila folder containing 5 years of evidence. Her simple black dress contrasts sharply with Marcus's expensive 3-piece suit and army of corporate lawyers. Judge Patricia Rodriguez calls the hearing to order, her stern gaze sweeping across the packed courtroom. This proceeding will determine whether criminal charges should be filed in the matter of Sterling versus Johnson. Mr. Brennan, you may present your client's case. Marcus's lead attorney rises with practiced confidence. "Your Honor, this is a straightforward case of workplace violence. My client, a respected businessman and dedicated martial artist, offered to participate in a friendly demonstration with the defendant. Instead of declining respectfully, Miss Johnson chose to assault him using undisclosed fighting skills. The prosecution's presentation seems airtight. Medical reports document Marcus's bruises. Expert witnesses testify about dangerous techniques and excessive force. Character references paint Marcus as a pillar of the community. Generous donor, successful entrepreneur, devoted student of martial arts. Mr. Sterling represents everything positive about the American dream," his attorney concludes. "He built his success through hard work and determination. He didn't deserve to be attacked by someone harboring hidden violent capabilities." Marcus takes the witness stand with theatrical confidence. "I was trying to be charitable," he testifies, his voice carefully modulated for maximum sympathy. "This woman seemed interested in martial arts, so I offered her a chance to participate respectfully. I never imagined she would use the opportunity to humiliate and harm me." His performance is flawless until David Carter begins cross-examination. "Mr. Sterling, you mentioned being charitable. Is purchasing buildings and tripling rents to force out existing businesses also charitable?" "Objection," Marcus's attorney interjects. "Relevance?" "Your Honor, this goes directly to Mr. Sterling's credibility and pattern of behavior toward people he perceives as beneath his social status." Judge Rodriguez nods grimly. "I'll allow it. Answer the question, Mr. Sterling." Marcus's composure begins cracking. "Business is business. Sometimes difficult decisions are necessary for economic development." David produces a thick file. "Including the business decision that drove Master Takeshi to suicide 20 years ago?" The courtroom erupts. Marcus's face drains of color as Maya's attorney presents evidence of his systematic destruction of Golden Dragon Dojo. Property records, rent increases, harassment complaints, all documented with Maya's meticulous precision. "Do you remember Master Takeshi, Mr. Sterling, the elderly Japanese man whose life's work you destroyed for profit?" That was decades ago. I can't be expected to remember every property transaction." Maya rises from her seat, Master Takeshi's photograph clutched in her hands. "I remember him," she says quietly, her voice carrying across the silent courtroom. "He was my teacher, my mentor, my second father." Judge Rodriguez allows Maya to approach the witness stand. She places Master Takeshi's picture where Marcus can see it, watching his face transform as recognition finally dawns. You called him worthless, Maya continues, her voice growing stronger. You said his dojo was taking up space that real Americans could use more productively. You told him to go back where he came from when he begged for mercy on the rent. Marcus's carefully constructed mask disintegrates completely. That old man was running a failing business. I gave him fair market value. Fair market value? Maya's attorney produces Master Takeshi's suicide note, reading it aloud. I have failed my students. I have failed my community. I cannot live with the shame of losing everything my teacher entrusted to me. Maya-chan, promise me you will stop men like Marcus Sterling before they destroy more dreams. The courtroom sits in stunned silence. Several reporters wipe away tears as the true story emerges, a grieving student's 20-year quest to honor her teacher's final request. Maya continues her testimony with devastating calm. I didn't attack Mr. Sterling without provocation, Your Honor. I accepted his challenge because it was the same challenge he gave my teacher. Prove you belong here, or be destroyed. David presents the evidence Maya has gathered over 5 years. Recorded conversations showing Marcus's discriminatory language, financial records proving predatory business tactics, witness testimony from other business owners he destroyed. The pattern becomes undeniable. Marcus Sterling built his wealth by systematically targeting and destroying people he considered inferior. This was never about one fight in a dojo, Maya explains. This was about honoring the memory of a man who taught me that the strong must protect the weak, even when the cost is everything. The smoking gun emerges when David plays audio recordings Maya secretly made during her 3 years working at the academy. Marcus's voice fills the courtroom, captured on hidden devices as he casually discusses his plans to acquire the building, demolish the dojo, and clear out the undesirable elements for luxury development. Some people are born to serve, others to rule, Marcus's recorded voice declares. That cleaning lady needs to understand her place in the natural order. The words hang in the air like poison. Marcus realizes too late that his own arrogance has provided the evidence of his discriminatory mindset. Judge Rodriguez leans forward. Mr. Sterling, did you or did you not formally challenge Miss Johnson to physical combat, offering ownership of the dojo as stakes? Marcus's attorney whispers urgently in his ear, but pride overrides legal strategy. She's a janitor. She had no business accepting such a challenge. The admission seals his fate. By acknowledging the formal nature of his challenge, Marcus destroys his own assault case. Under martial arts law and established legal precedent, he consented to the physical confrontation. Maya's final stroke comes when she addresses Marcus directly. Master Takeshi taught me that the greatest victory isn't defeating your opponent, it's making them defeat themselves through their own character flaws. She opens Master Takeshi's portfolio, revealing his teaching certificates, championship awards, and lineage documentation tracing back 6 generations of martial arts masters. You didn't just destroy a business, Mr. Sterling. You destroyed a living piece of history, a link to traditions that took centuries to develop. Marcus finally explodes with the racist rage he spent years hiding. I'm tired of being blamed for every failure of people who can't compete in the real world. Some cultures are simply superior to others. Some people deserve success. Others deserve to serve. His words are captured by every camera in the courtroom, broadcast live to millions of viewers worldwide. In 30 seconds of uncontrolled honesty, Marcus Sterling destroys everything his lawyers spent weeks building. Judge Rodriguez calls for order as the courtroom erupts. When silence returns, she delivers her verdict with icy precision. All charges against Miss Johnson are dismissed with prejudice. Furthermore, I'm referring this case to the district attorney for investigation of potential hate crimes and fraud charges against Mr. Sterling. Maya clutches Master Takeshi's photograph, tears streaming down her face. Sensei, she whispers, your honor is restored. 20 years of patience have finally yielded perfect justice. The courthouse steps become a stage for vindication as Maya emerges into blazing sunlight, Master Takeshi's photograph pressed against her heart. Reporters surge forward, their cameras capturing the moment justice finally claimed its victory over privilege and prejudice. Miss Johnson, what's next for you? Calls a journalist from Channel 7. Maya's smile carries 20 years of patient determination. Master Takeshi's work isn't finished, it's just beginning. Within hours, the story transforms from local court drama to international phenomenon. Master Takeshi legacy trends across every platform as Maya's complete plan unfolds. The evidence she spent 5 years collecting doesn't just exonerate her, it exposes Marcus Sterling's entire empire of exploitation. Federal investigators launch criminal probes into Marcus's business practices. The IRS discovers shell companies designed to hide assets and evade taxes. The state attorney general files civil rights violations for systematic discrimination against minority-owned businesses. Everything Marcus built through predatory tactics crumbles under legal scrutiny. His business partners abandon him in coordinated fashion, their statements echoing similar themes. We had no knowledge of Mr. Sterling's discriminatory practices and condemn such behavior entirely. Corporate sponsors withdraw funding from his ventures. The Martial Arts Federation revokes his black belt after discovering he purchased advancement through donations rather than earned it through skill. Maya's daughter, Jasmine, appears on national television, her voice strong with newfound pride. My mother taught me that real strength isn't about fighting. It's about fighting for others. She spent 5 years planning justice for a man she loved like a father. That's not violence. That's loyalty. Master Carter calls Maya with tears in his voice. The dojo is yours if you want it. After what you've accomplished, I cannot imagine better hands to receive Master Takeshi's legacy. But Maya's vision extends far beyond one academy. She announces the establishment of the Golden Dragon Foundation, a legal defense fund specifically designed to help small business owners fight predatory practices. Donations pour in from around the world as her story resonates with anyone who has ever felt powerless against systematic oppression. Master Takeshi taught me that one student's victory can inspire 1,000 others, Maya explains during her first foundation press conference. Every person Marcus Sterling destroyed deserves justice. Every community facing gentrification deserves protection. Every worker experiencing harassment deserves dignity. The Foundation's first act sponsors legislation protecting small businesses from predatory rent increases and discriminatory practices. Maya testifies before Congress, Master Takeshi's photograph beside her as she speaks about workplace dignity and economic justice. Marcus watches Maya's congressional testimony from his bankruptcy attorney's office, surrounded by boxes of a dismantled empire. Criminal charges loom. Civil lawsuits multiply daily. His carefully constructed world has been systematically destroyed by someone he never bothered to see as human. How did she know? He asks his lawyer desperately. How did she plan all this? The answer lies in Maya's patient dedication to Master Takeshi's memory. While Marcus collected properties and profits, Maya collected evidence and allies. While he built wealth through destruction, she built justice through construction. The renamed Golden Dragon Memorial Academy opens 6 months later, its walls displaying Master Takeshi's photograph alongside Maya's championship trophies from 20 years ago. Students learn not just fighting techniques, but the philosophy that guides them. Protect the weak, honor teachers, serve the community. Maya's first class includes former students from the original academy, small business owners seeking self-defense training, and young people learning that true martial arts means character development, not just physical prowess. The lessons extend beyond kicks and punches to include legal rights, documentation techniques, and community organizing. Master Takeshi's greatest technique wasn't any fighting move, Maya tells her students during their first lesson. It was teaching us that individual strength means nothing unless it serves collective justice. The academy becomes a model replicated across the country. Other cities established Takeshi centers combining martial arts training with legal aid and community advocacy. Maya's evidence-gathering methodology became standard practice for civil rights organizations. 1 year after the courthouse victory, Maya performs Master Takeshi's morning kata in the memorial garden behind the academy. Students gather silently to watch their teacher honor her teacher, the morning sun illuminating Master Takeshi's memorial stone. The inscription reads, "A teacher's greatest victory is a student who becomes a guardian." Maya completes the kata with perfect precision, her movements carrying forward centuries of tradition and wisdom. In her hands, Master Takeshi's legacy lives on, not just as martial arts techniques, but as a commitment to justice that transcends individual victory. Marcus Sterling's empire is gone. Master Takeshi's teachings are eternal. Justice, finally, has found its true home. 2 years later, the Golden Dragon Foundation operated in 47 cities across 6 countries. Maya's Takeshi method, combining traditional martial arts with legal documentation and community organizing, has become a required curriculum in law schools studying grassroots advocacy. The Foundation's impact extends far beyond individual cases. Maya's strategic approach to defeating Marcus Sterling inspired the Document Everything movement, teaching workers to gather evidence of harassment before it escalates. Small business owners now study her 5-year plan as a masterclass in patience, preparation, and precision. Mom's not just teaching people how to fight, Jasmine explains during her Harvard Law School graduation speech. She's teaching them how to win. There's a difference between throwing punches and throwing systems of oppression off balance. Jasmine's civil rights law firm specializes in predatory business practices, using her mother's methodology to protect communities from exploitation. The daughter carries forward what the mother learned from the teacher, that individual victory means nothing unless it creates systemic change. Master Carter, now in his 70s, serves as the Foundation's spiritual advisor. Maya didn't just save our dojo, he reflects during the annual Master Takeshi Memorial Tournament. She reminded us that martial arts without social justice is just organized violence. The tournament draws competitors from around the world, each one required to complete community service hours alongside their training. Winners receive scholarships to establish Takeshi centers in underserved communities. The trophy isn't just for fighting skill, it's for character demonstration and service commitment. Maya's story has been studied by documentary filmmakers, business ethicists, and social justice organizations. The Takeshi Papers, her 5 years of evidence against Marcus Sterling, are housed at the Smithsonian as an example of methodical activism triumphing over institutional power. But the most powerful testament to her teacher's legacy happens every morning at 6 a.m. in Golden Dragon Memorial Academy. Maya leads students through Master Takeshi's kata, the same movements he taught her decades ago now flowing through hundreds of dedicated practitioners. Each technique carries his wisdom forward, Maya tells her advanced students. When you practice these forms, you're not just moving your body, you're moving his spirit through time. Marcus Sterling's name appears occasionally in bankruptcy court records and criminal sentencing updates. His empire's collapse created opportunities for dozens of small businesses to reclaim their communities. The buildings he once owned now house cooperative ventures, community centers, and affordable housing projects. Justice isn't about destroying your enemies, Maya explained during her TED Talk, which has been viewed over 50 million times. It's about transforming their destruction into something that serves everyone they tried to harm. The talk sparked the global #Everyday Heroes movement, celebrating ordinary people who achieve extraordinary justice through patient planning and community building. Teachers, janitors, cashiers, and factory workers share their own stories of standing up to workplace bullies and predatory systems. Maya's apartment still contains Master Takeshi's letter, now framed beside photos of Foundation graduates establishing their own academies. The words that once fueled her quest for revenge have transformed into a mission statement for collective liberation. Stop men like him before they destroy more dreams. The dreams are no longer being destroyed. They're being defended, nurtured, and multiplied through the network Maya built from her teacher's ashes. Have you ever seen someone being mistreated and wished you could help? Maya's story proves that heroes aren't born with special powers. They're made through patience, preparation, and the courage to honor those who believed in them. Share this story to remind people that the most powerful technique isn't always physical force. Sometimes it's simply refusing to let good people disappear without a fight. Know someone facing harassment at work? Tag them to show that justice is possible when you combine ancient wisdom with modern strategy. The Takeshi method works because it treats every challenge as a long-term campaign, not a single battle. Want to honor a teacher's memory? Learn their deepest lessons and use them to protect others. Maya spent 20 years turning grief into guardianship, pain into purpose, and personal loss into collective gain. If stories of strategic justice and honoring mentors inspire you, subscribe for more tales of ordinary people becoming extraordinary guardians, because the real heroes are the ones who transform their own suffering into shields for others. Maya's greatest victory isn't that she defeated Marcus Sterling. It's that she made Master Takeshi immortal through service, ensuring that his teachings will protect people for generations to come. Sometimes the strongest technique is simply refusing to let love die.